Hi, everybody. My name is Wendy Fournier. I'm with the Indigo Doors, and I am sharing a painting for the first time on video, and I'm very excited to share it with you. I'm going to show it to you now, if I can figure the technology out. So this is a painting I actually painted almost a year ago to the date um, in 2019, and I called it Fire and Water. And I wasn't really told to share it until now. So though some of my close friends and family have seen it, no, I haven't shared it publicly at all. Because I kind of listen, I try to listen anyways. And so now they actually want me to share with you. So this is Fire and Ice. When I'm painting, for those of you that don't understand my process, I'm kind of told exactly what to do, step by step. And as I'm painting, they kind of explain to me what is going on, like why they're having me do this, what is going on in this relationship to myself or people around me or to the planet. And this one in particular was very interesting because I painted it like I said a year ago, so a lot of the information didn't make sense to me because time is really funky, right? So for those of you that understand quantum physics and such, so I wrote it down, doing my due diligence, and now it's starting to make sense. And I was able to fill in some of the blanks now, talking to them about it. And I want to share this with you. So it's called Fire and Ice, and it really is. It talks a lot about the shift that's happening right now, currently, in September of 2020. It talks about how it really is about shifting between the what's old and outdated to what's to new, like kind of birthing into this new paradigm. And the kind of the struggle with that, or the physical manifestation of struggle. Um, and they talked about how that, you know, people that understand physical illness in the body, and how sometimes it portrays itself as getting worse before it gets better. And we have the wisdom to understand that that's just part of the rhythm of healing. Sometimes it just flares up right before it starts turning into healing, and that's kind of what's happening right now. So kind of hold on for a minute. It is going to get better, they promise. They kept saying there's so much love, they have so much awe and love for us and what we're doing. It's very exciting times because we really are birthing into this new age, which is heaven on earth, right? It's it's a lot of beautiful, amazing energies, and some of them are shown here in this painting. So you can see the fire on the like lower right, if you can kind of see the mouse, and the fire. I'm sure no accidents, right? The fires that are happening in California. But this is also about the fires, or how they're purging, right? There's a purging element here that's happening, and they gave me a metaphor of that we don't even truly understand where we are, and where we're going. Like the physical reality is going to be so different for us. It's they gave me the metaphor of a cave, and how we are actually living in a cave. We're right. We don't even know that we're not looking at the stars. We think we are. It's like we think we are somewhere where we're not. They're like, you're really kind of in a cave. And what's happening is that there's like this fire in this cave that's kind of pushing us around, like scurrying around like mice in a way, where we're just kind of moving, and it's forcing us to move into parts of this metaphoric cave that we've never ventured in before, because they were scary and dark. And this fire really has a purpose, though, because it's going to eventually kind of push us into emerging from the cave. And once we emerge from the cave, there's going to be so much sustenance. I kept using the word sustenance with me. And sustenance, it's going to like water the drought. They're saying it's going to quench all of our thirsts in a way. This is metaphorically speaking, but spiritually, it's like we're starving, and some of us don't even know we're starving. Um, but some of us do. We feel this need and this ache for connection and love. And this wave that you see on the left side of the painting it's twofold, right? It's the wave that's happening right now that's kind of pushing us in through this awakening process. And within the water that's going to quench the fire, right? This purging and then watering the soil so new seeds can be planted, right? There's a lot of symbolism here. But within the water that you can see here, with that circular pink thing, they wanted me to share with everybody that they have changed the water, and it's in dimensions that science will eventually catch up with, but they've changed and shifted the water along with our DNA. But within the water, they've shifted it to where we could utilize that knowledge and information within the water a lot more to our advantage, like speaking to the water, having it work with our bodies, having it help through this time, like water as you're drinking it, ask for it to bring you peace, bring you balance, have it work within your own body and DNA to help cleanse you of things that no longer serve you, whether it's energetically, emotionally. The water really is, we haven't even begun to tap into the power of what water really is. And they're telling me that we just need to start kind of interacting with it more. So there is that element here. But overall, how everything is like divinely guided, meaning this is part of a bigger plan. This is exactly what the Mayans were talking about. You know, this is the new earth, and this is what it looks like when we're moving from kind of a dark age where we don't know necessarily how to love ourselves fully, where we're kind of in survival, more animalistic, to moving into beings that are a little less physical and a lot more emotionally and spiritually expansive, where we have an understanding of the interconnectedness with all beings. And that's what this kind of looks like. It manifests in a way where there's a little bit of a conflict, or there's a lot of conflict. They said the biggest thing that we can do, and you see this everywhere, so it's just kind of a reiteration of just, if you love yourself, if you really work on your own fears and your own love within yourself, that alone has the power to help shift the reality outwardly, right? As above, so below. So this is, that is their message. They really want us to just focus in on loving ourselves. If we don't feel safe or we're afraid, just, it's okay to be selfish, right? It's okay to focus in and love ourselves. And during these times, that really is helping so much. They couldn't express that enough. And then, so the divinely guided piece also is shown here with the mandala. Like, it's part of a process that we don't fully understand. So you do have to kind of have faith, right? You have to have faith. We're kind of like, we're a part of something that we can't really see yet. So trust your heart, and trust in love, and trust in God, that all is well. This is just part of that process, and stay within love as much as you can. And when you're not, and when you are in fear, that's okay too. There's no judgment in that. That's exactly what you're supposed to be moving through and looking at, and loving those parts. Anything that's coming up, like this wave, anything that's coming up is meant to kind of be integrated. And integration, that's a weird word, right? But it just means to love. Integrate that into your being instead of holding it separate. Because whenever there's dis-ease or there's conflict, we're holding something separate, right? So integration means recognizing and having the wisdom that it is a part of you, and it shouldn't be dismissed. It needs to be loved and held. And lastly, the image in the upper right there, it is sacred geometry, of course, or for those of you that might not know it, of course, I don't know. It's sacred geometry. And there's 5 circles. It's the middle circle. It's talking about the shift, the change, but it's holding the frequency of this new earth, this heaven on earth, this frequency and a reality where depression won't even exist. There's so many things and experiences that we have in the reality that we're kind of existing in now that won't even exist there. and where there is no, it's not fear in the same way, right? Not some of these heavier things we won't even have to be experiencing. So just, it's holding that frequency, it's coming down, it's pulling that down, or to us, if there is such a thing, because like direction is a little weird, but it's kind of pulling it into us and into this reality of this frequency of higher beings and higher reality. And it also represents the beings that are watching us and that are here and love us so much, and just in awe of all of us. And we're not alone. And so whenever we need help, just reach out your hand, truly. Just reach out your hand, and they're there working with everybody on the planet. Is if you can understand conceptually that multidimensionally, that yes, they can exist, God can exist everywhere all at once. So I hope you enjoyed this explanation. And I'm going to start doing this with all of my paintings, because there's so many messages that has come through. Even in regards, like every part of this painting truly has a purpose. And I guess I didn't go over all of them. You can see part of this wave here, part of the function of the wave that goes into the mandala, which is the divine mastery, the divine machine, is green and orange. And that's really a self-love. So self-love and creativity of creation. So creating this inward world, right? The divine feminine, the aspect of the divine feminine of truly loving the self and creating and manifesting from that space of love. There could be lots of different interpretations. All of this has specific meaning, but you know, paintings are meant to be interactive with the individual. So you sit with it, and they have messages in here for anyone that's looking at this. Like you're looking at it, if you're looking at this, you're meant to be looking at it, and it is meant to speak to you. Within the fire here, you see the sun. So it's telling me that the sun is the divine masculine, and that is shifting, right? That is part of the shift on the planet right now, and that is part of the purging process. So within that fire, this is shifting. We're learning how to have a lot more compassion, and allowing for other people to have different experiences than ourselves, instead of demanding in the old masculine way that the way I see it is the only reality. And it's creating, it has red triangles on the outside. So it's kind of giving us this divinity of safety and security within this, the divine masculinity. So the support of the divine masculine. Up here is the space, kind of this ethereal, spiritual realm. Circles are new ideas and things that are coming in. There's a lot of people that are waking up. A lot of people are bringing in new information, and that's kind of what that represents. I didn't talk about every single specific thing, but even the colors within this little pink shape that's within the water has meaning. The blue and the orange, and the opposition of the blue and the orange, and within the pink, which is going to be an expression of loving outwardly, loving our fellow man. So I hope this has inspired you or has influenced you in a way, or you enjoyed listening. Thank you for listening this long. If you've stayed and listened this long, please like and follow and comment. You know, I would love the conversation. So thank you so much. Take care.